Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. What about you?
I'm doing quite well. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. It was a very good day.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
Yes, and the weather is not humid, not bad.
In Bosnia or in Saudi Arabia?
Of course, in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, okay, that's good then. That's
and
actually
what
perfect.
and what about weather in Bosnia and Herzegovina?
Well, today it was actually pretty good. We had some snow a few days ago, but today it was
Wow.
sunny and very warm, so perfect.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sick of snow, trust me. So
Okay, let us start in our question about the IELTS problem. Start with the problem of the listening. As we
Okay.
promise the stuff for Welcome to Canada to discuss the listening step by step. Okay, please click on the attachment T1 to discuss this question together. Okay.
Okay, no problem. That's the one starting from questions 1 to 10.
Okay. Teacher Alma, for the in the IELTS section 1, as you know, it's always for the summarization or the filling the missing word. Okay.
Okay.
Now, please, if you give effective advices for people who seek to take the IELTS, how to deal with this type of question. Start.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned previously, when it comes to IELTS test, there are a few tips and tricks on how to solve many questions, but all of them come down to one thing, and that is searching for the keyword. So this is something that you have to do. Before starting any kind of test, what you have to do is read very carefully all the instructions that are written in the text. In this type of questions, they are going to ask you to fill in the missing words or the missing parts with no more than 3 words or numbers. What you need to know is that you can write 1, 2, or 3 words, or you can write a number, whether in letters or in numerals. So it depends on you. So you have to look at the table in front of you very carefully, or the form that stands in front of you, because you're going to be given 30 seconds to check each question. You have to examine all the headings and subheadings of the text. So, for example, in this part, you have type of work, number of hours per work. Those are some of the headings and subheadings that you need to focus on.
Okay, teacher Alma, here back to this for more explanation. Read the questions and how to catch the keyword and how to expect the answer, please.
Okay. So, well, you have to kind of anticipate the answer that is going to be the correct one. So for the first one, they're asking you to fill in what kind of a type of work he is being offered.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of the text, when he introduces himself and says that he's looking for a job, that he's applying for an ad, she's going to say what kind of work they're going to do. Maybe they're looking for a waiter, or maybe they're looking for someone who's going to clean. Maybe they're looking for a cook. So you have to hear the occupation that they are looking for. Once you hear the occupation, you're going to write it down in the designed field. I'm sorry. Yes.
Sorry. Continue. Sorry, please.
Okay. So for the next part, for the second question, she's going to mention, or in these kinds of conversations, in the first part, you're usually going to hear a conversation or an interview between 2 people. So he's probably going to ask about the working hours. She's going to reply that he has to work for 12 hours per week, which is already written in the form. She's also going to mention that he would need a work permit. So his next question is probably going to be in which branch he's going to work in, or in what field. What you have to know in the IELTS test that they usually paraphrase everything, which means they use different words and phrases and sentences to say what is already written here. So you have to be looking for the paraphrasing. So she's probably going to say that he's going to be working as a bartender, for example. So inside of a restaurant, there's a bar, and he's going to be working as a bartender.
Okay.
Yeah,
here, back to how, again, to how to guess or to expect the correct answer. I think also the grammar is the main factor. Why? Maybe, yeah. Why? Maybe to classify what's the type of the correct answer. Maybe noun, adjective, adverb.
Perfect.
Okay, sometimes you are not able to listen correctly or to catch the correct answer, but I say you can write any word you catch and write footnotes, and then okay, if you rewrite or review the word you write down, you can match this correct answer with the regular grammar. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, when it comes to IELTS tests, well, if I say that most of the words that are missing are going to be nouns, that's not correct, of course. Some of them are going to be verbs, some of them are going to, but in most of the cases, I think you're going to be looking for nouns. For example, here, let me check, please. Okay, for the first question, they're looking for a noun. For the second question, well, since the second word is branch, which is already a noun, the word that they are looking for is probably going to be an adjective describing this branch. So let's say, actually, it doesn't have to be an adjective. I'm sorry. It can also be another noun that stands next to it.
Okay, and type of word. Maybe I remember the correct answer. Maybe answering the phone. Maybe answering the phone, and you start with noun. Yes, answering the phone. This is 3 words here. Yes, definitely.
Telecommunication branch or something like that.
Yeah,
but in that case, it could also be a noun.
Yeah, here in depend on my experience in taking the IELTS exam, when you feel you cannot catch the correct answer, just write any word you can hear. Yes.
If you are not sure, definitely. If you are not sure about what the answer is, make sure to write notes next to the answer, something that can associate you with the correct answer. So write as many notes as you can next to the question, and later when you go back, you might find something from the context of the entire question. So something that was written before or after the question at stake might help you to answer the question that was missed. So write as many notes as you can, something that associates you with this question. It doesn't have to be a correct answer, but it might help you later.
Okay. Back to the keyword. Okay. Maybe in the IELTS, in the first of all, in the tip, he said you have maybe 25 seconds or 20 seconds to read maybe the questions from 1 to 4 and then to listen. Okay, what's your tips to underline the keyword? What's the practical to find the keyword? Maybe some people, or then in Arabic, maybe I am an Arabic creative speaker, and it's difficult maybe for me to read in 20 seconds all the questions and understand and then underline. I think this is a rush time, critical time to underline the keywords. Yeah?
Definitely. But if you, underlining keywords is a crucial thing in the IELTS listening test. So you have to do it. But you are going to underline those words that give you most information. And words that give you most information are going to be nouns and question words. Let's say WH words or age words like when, where, how. In this case, would need work permit. I would only, for example, underline work permit, and I would listen to when they are going to mention that. That is not a question at stake, though. But underline nouns and WH words. So those are going to be the words that will give you most information about the question that you need to answer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here if we go for example, in the question 5, extra pay when you walk on. Yeah, I think here,
Okay.
her questions maybe to mention for place. Yes, and here, yes. Okay.
Actually, when you have on, it's not going to be a place. It's going to be either a date. Well, in this case, it's going to be a day.
Sorry. On in place and in for place.
On is going to be for days.
Yes. I'm sorry. And here, what I mentioned, maybe to if we have rough idea how to use the preposition, maybe if to the grammar, maybe support our effort to catch the correct answer. Yeah.
Well, prepositions are a little bit tricky, but some of them can help you to find your answer. For example, in this case, I knew right away that they are looking for a day, since on is a preposition of time that indicates days, and it indicates dates. So for example, here it can stand extra pay when you work on, let's say, on Sunday, or which is a day, or it can say extra pay when you work on December 31st, and we all know this is New Year, so it's a date indicating a holiday, for example. So in this case, I got a clear answer that it's going to be some kind of a date or a day.
Also, I remember when we practiced last year, you always advised me don't rush to answer. Maybe extra pay when you work on Tuesday. But I suggest and you always mentioned and you always emphasized to pay attention for this word. But however, so unless unfortunately this is meant to change the meaning and to change the correct answer. Don't rush to the answer.
Definitely. But that is in another type of question. In this question, well, basically, first section is the easiest section, and these forms or tables are easiest to answer because they will always give you minimum of information. It's going to be address, name, type of work, or something like that. But what you were saying usually refers to multiple choice questions.
Now let us go to multiple choice. If you go to section 3, yes, in this section 3. Okay, course feedback.
Course feedback.
Feedback. Now, please explain. I need wide explanation for multiple choices. Okay, and how to confuse the student during the exam. It is depending on my experience in this exam. For me, I just read the first questions and try to understand all information. Okay, and then I just write notes for all what I listen in the questions, and then try to match in the answers. Because for me, I cannot read the questions and 3 choices in 15 or 25 seconds. Okay, definitely. And always, yes. Now, please talk about multiple choices. And however, also then from A to Z, please.
Okay, so in multiple choice questions, well, you have 3 types of multiple choice questions. So you have, the first type is where you have to select only one answer, and this is that type. So you have to circle the correct letter. We can talk about the other types later, but so I'm going to focus on the first type for now. So yes, you don't have enough time to read the questions and the answers and to remember them. So I put an emphasis on question only. So read the question very carefully, and as always, underline those words that give you most information. So let me see. One reason why Spyros felt happy about his marketing presentation was that. So what are they looking for in this question? They are asking you why he felt happy. Why? So why was he happy? So
felt happy. Yes.
Yes.
I think one reason felt happy, that's enough.
One reason why he was happy. That's it. That's all you have to underline, and this is what you have to listen. Now, what you mentioned earlier, there's going to be a lot of tricky text when they speak or in the recording. So in some cases, they will mention all three choices. In some cases, they will mention only one, and that's going to be the correct answer. If they mention all three choices, you have to pay extra attention to words like linkers, like however, unless, because, or something. So they might say something like this, just an example. Sparrows was happy because of his marketing presentation. He was not nervous, but that was not the reason of his happiness. He was happy because his style was good. So he mentioned two choices here. So when you hear he was not nervous, oh, okay, that's my correct answer. No, he said, but that was not the reason why he was happy. He was happy because his style was good. So if they mention more than one of these choices, you have to listen to carefully to which one is confirmed, because only one choice is going to be confirmed in the recording.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, let's go to question 22. What surprised Hiroko about the other student presentation? Here to rush reading. What surprised other students? Surprised other students.
What surprised Hiroko? So you can just underline the first part. What surprised him?
Surprised Hiroko.
Yes. So again, as I mentioned in the previous part, these types of questions are always going to be the same. One more thing. No, you don't have the time to read everything thoroughly, but you do have time to just skim through these questions, through the answers, just to see roughly what the point is about. So what was he surprised? When they start a recording, in the recording, they might mention something like, for example, I will say the recording and you will tell me the correct answer.
Yeah.
Besides for his presentation, there were other presentations in the classroom as well. Many students did their presentation there, and not all of them were quite interesting. Some of the students who did the presentation looked very nervous, and they didn't look at the audience enough. The presentation can be quite stressful for all of them, but it was not stressful for Hiroko, so he couldn't understand why the stress was imposed so much on other students. What would you say the answer was?
Again, please. I focus with you, sorry.
I apologize.
Okay.
Okay, I will try one more time and you find the correct answer, okay? Okay. So there were a lot of other students who did their presentations that day. So some of the presentations were remarkable and other presentations were not that interesting. Some of the people were very nervous and they didn't pay attention to the audience too much. But others were very stressed out and felt like they have a stage fright and they weren't able to speak. Hiroko did his presentation without any kind of problems. He did it very confidently, and he was quite surprised at why other people were so stressed out.
They are, I think, choice B there. Why Hiroko about the other student presentation? They found their presentation stressful. I think that's.
And that's the correct answer.
Yes.
So he was actually, he did his presentation very well. I don't even know how I made up that text. So he did his presentation very well and he was very confident. So he couldn't understand why other people were stressed out. So that was what surprised him.
So what I say, Yui, and my tactic to find the correct answer here, I focus maybe if I lose the maybe the sequence. Okay, I try to why perhaps Definitely, after these words, in 90% you can find the correct answer, I think.
Yes, you can. Trust me, you can. Just focus very carefully if they are going to confirm the answer.
Okay, let us say another tip, depend on our maybe mutual experience in the IELTS. Teacher Alma, maybe this is section 3 and talk about multiple choices. But if we go back to section 2, in the end of the answers, the tape you will listen, you have half minute to check your answer. Yeah, this is for section 2. For me, I said, if you find the next questions multiple choices, don't lose your time or spend your time in reviewing your answer for section 2. No, go to the multiple choices. Why? Here now you have half minutes. Maybe you can read 2 questions, and then when the tape or the recorder introduce the section 3, he said, you have half minute or have maybe 25 minutes. Now you have half minute and 20, maybe 26, 25 seconds. Yeah, now you can maybe read through maybe 4 or 5 answers. Yeah, 5 questions.
Definitely.
Yes. And here to shorten the time, and you can, if you face 10 questions, maybe here you can read 6 out of 10, and maybe prepare yourself to deal with 6 questions. And if that, and over time, if you guess 3 questions, no problem. Yeah,
definitely, I agree. And if you use your time while the recording lasts to write down a few information and notes, based on what you heard, you can go back and use those 30 seconds to see if maybe you can find one more answer from those information. So it can happen, when you concentrate a little bit, and you read again the questions, you can also find a missing answer, or maybe you can, rethink some of the answers that you already chose. So
yes,
it can save you money.
Here, okay, let us go back to some tactics you taught me. Let's go to question 21 and 22. Here in 21, as we agree, maybe Spiridov felt happy. This is maybe the main word. Question 22, maybe he heard about surprise Morocco other students. Okay, you said, I remember, and for the felt happy, when you try to focus why happy and try to write note, okay, and try to focus the word and stop. When you find and when you enter for the surprising, when you reach to the surprising, also note, okay, and after that, in the 30 seconds to review the answer, try to match this correct answer with your sense about the questions. Yeah.
Can you just repeat the last part? When you go back to?
Okay, go back again for a question 21 and 22. In 21, okay, the keyword Spiros felt happy. Why? You told me when you listen and don't write anything until to reach why to happy. Why to start when you mention to happy? Why Spiros happy? Jot down the other footnotes. Okay, and then when you reach to why surprise Hiroko, also some notes. Okay, and after that, and when the record give you 30 seconds to review the answer, start to make elimination for the correct or wrong answer with your footnotes.
Okay, yeah, you can review everything that you wrote down and see if it matches with the choice that you selected. Maybe it's not going to match. So you can always review your footnotes. You can always review the information that you wrote next to the questions to see if it matches the choice that you made.
Okay. Now let us maybe speak about, if you go to T3, I think there is another kind of multiple choices.
Okay. Give me a second, please.
Take your time. Okay.
14 to 18?
Yes. No. If you click in the T3, another in your Cambly message on T3.
Okay, just tell me the name of the section or the type of the question number.
Yes, section 2, question 11 to 13.
11 to 13. Okay, that's good. Because when I download from Cambly, my documents change the name. That's why.
No problem.
Okay. 11 to 16 I have here.
Is choose 3 answers from the box and write the correct letter.
Wait. 11 to 13. Yes. Yes. This is also a multiple choice question where you have to have 3 selections. Okay. In this one, you have 3 questions. So 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so they count for 3 marks or 3 grades. Okay. Well, as I said, in all of the listening module questions, you're going to have to select keywords, and that's something that is going to save you. So again, read instructions very carefully, skim through answers from A to E. So the question here asks you to choose 3 answers from the box and to write the correct letter. So this is based on the diagram that you have, right? Am I in the right question?
Yes. But here, let us say maybe some techniques we follow. Here, you know how to deal with directions, maybe left, right, above.
Definitely. Yes.
Here, this is I think these words are repetitive and repeated a lot, and you can help us to find the correct answer.
Definitely, yes. So when it comes to diagrams, you're going to get directions. So you have to follow the directions. The things that are, the good thing about the IELTS test is that listening part is that everything goes in the correct order. So you're not going to have to jump from number 1 to number 10 and then go back to number 5, for example. So you have starting points here. That is central heating radiators and hot water, which are indicated. Okay.
Yes,
so
in the IELTS step by step.
I'm sorry?
In the IELTS step by step. Don't confuse for the sequences. Just in multiple choice, the problem, the type 1. Okay. Continue, please.
Yes. So you have 5 more options, but you need 3 answers. So you have to select what is what on the diagram given below. So since you already have 2 options that have been answered, so central heating radiators and hot water, everything else that they tell you is going to be around it. So we have to select 3 more things. So they're probably going to talk about all 5 options that are offered. So I will try and give an example. I'm not sure if I'm going to make up a conversation well, but I will give it a try. So let's say this is what they say. In the control board of the water heater, in the upper part, on the right side, we can see an indicator for hot water. And opposite to it, on the left side, we can see a central heating radiators. In the upper left corner, there is a warning indicator that shows us the temperature of the water heater. Right below the central heating radiator, you can find an off-on switch, which helps us to turn off and turn on the water heater. Next to it and below the hot water button, we can find time control. So 2 of these options are found and 1 of them is not marked. Do you know which options I found? What would you say is number 11? Well, number 12, sorry.
11, 12, sorry, again, please. Sorry, again, please, because I cannot see the monitor very well. Okay, again, please, now just to search electricity indicator on off. Read again, please.
So we have 2 options that are given. Hot water on the right and central heating radiators on the left.
Yeah, Yeah.
So,
Okay.
option 11 is next to or on the left from central heating radiators. We still
Yes.
don't know what it is. Option 12 is below or under the central heating radiators. And
Yes.
option 13 is under the hot water indicator or button.
Yeah.
So all the way far on the right, we have another button or some kind of an indicator, which is not marked. So I will mention number 12. And
Okay.
From my conversation, from my dialogue, from my story, you are going to guess what number 12 is. Okay?
Okay.
So here we have a diagram of a very simple water heater. There aren't many options on this water heater. There are only a few basic buttons. So on the left, we have a central heating radiator button, and opposite to this button on the right, we have a hot water indicator. In the upper right corner, there is a time control indicator which shows the time of the water heater. Right below the hot water indicator, there is an electricity indicator that is showing us the amount of electricity spent for the I don't know, water heater processes.
Okay. Now for you asked maybe, okay, now ask for 12.
Yes.
For 12. I guess warning indicator, I guess.
No, take your time because I still haven't said anything about number 12.
Okay.
Under the central heating radiator button, we can find a warning indicator that gives us warning in the case of mistakes or errors on the water heater. Now, do you know what number 12 is?
Maybe reset. No, not reset.
So when I was speaking, I said below the central heating radiator button, we can find a warning indicator.
Yes,
so
warning.
Yeah, just below this button, there is a warning indicator that leads us to number 12.
12, yes.
Yeah.
Number 12,
so
yeah.
You have to follow the instructions, whether they say up, left, right, opposite, under, below. If you follow the instructions carefully, you are going to be able to find.
And also for the labeling the diagram for the maps, same tactic.
It's the same technique. You just have to, it's as if you are in a foreign country, in a foreign city, you have a city map in front of you and you need to find the closest restaurant and you're following the directions. Turn left into the street, you can find, I don't know, a boutique, go straight ahead from the boutique, turn left and you will find the restaurant. So you're just following the map.
Okay, go to question 14 to 18. This is maybe one of the most difficult questions in the IELTS.
Matching.
matching the headings or matching the this is the difficult in listening and in reading, as you know, as well.
Okay, well, when it comes to the matching part, yeah, it is the most difficult part because you have to listen very carefully to what you are going to say. So in this case, we have to select 5 answers from the box and write the correct letters. But what you have to know that your keywords are the ones in the numbers. So from 14 to 18, and they will go in exactly this order. So first in the text, they are going to mention the pillows, and then they are going to do a description of these pillows, okay? So for example, let me see. Okay. So as far as I can see, they're talking about probably a bathroom and where things are located in this bathroom. So the text might begin, well, this is our bathroom where you can find all the necessary things that you need to start working for us. As you can see, you can find pillows next to the, on the shelf by the back door. They are always located there. So if you take them, please return them to the same place. On top of the television, you are going to be able to find the washing powder, which you are going to use for cleaning, or I don't know, washing the clothes, washing powder. So what you have to know is that they will mention all of these options, but they will go in this exact order. So when you hear the word pillow, listen carefully to where they are located. If after the pillow you hear the word key, you have probably missed the washing powder answer, and don't go back to it because you're going to lose other questions. So if you fail to answer one question, go to the next one straight away because you're going to miss others. Later you can go back and put any letter that was left for the missing answer. So if you guess, it would be good.
Teacher, I have to say, in these types of questions, try to write a lot. Any note, because
a lot of information.
Yes, a lot of information, and it depends on paraphrasing and synonyms. Okay, and also the words. Okay. I called him darkness words because here.
Why?
Why? Because this question confused you suddenly. He talked about pillows, and suddenly you with the recorder maybe jump to key. Where is the washing powder? I don't know.
Well, you probably missed it somewhere because you were thinking about something different.
Yeah. So I thought then need maybe more, and in the multiple choices you have to be more relaxed. Personally, I have to say maybe some practical tips during my preparation for the IELTS. I listen maybe for news from BBC or CNN, and I try to write any notes, any idea, try to catch any idea. I think that's helped me to deal with this type of questions.
Definitely. You do. You have to prepare yourself, and you have to prepare your ear for listening. So basically, and what presents the biggest problem for everyone, try to get used to British accent. So listen to different kinds of videos or audios or anything that has British accent inside, because it's going to make you understand the recording much better. So unfortunately, I have to say that when it comes to putting down your answers in the IELTS test, you can choose whether to use British or American English spelling, but you have to get used to listening to British English.
Okay, now let us go to section 4. If you back to the first example in the T1, okay, back to T1. Okay. Okay, the section 4.
Okay, found it.
Yes, section 4 is the most difficult maybe question in the IELTS, because it's an academic lecture.
Yes.
Okay, and maybe speak it quickly, and I think if the recorder use the Australian accent or New Zealand, I think the students will crash into wall, because
the students
will crash into walls.
I hope not. Honestly, I hope not.
Yes, because why? I take the IELTS 2 times, as you know, and in the maybe some accent is difficult, and in some spelling. For example, escape. And you know, escape. It's clear in the British and American, and the spelling easy. ESCAPE. And I remember the exam, maybe the lecturer maybe from New Zealand or Australia, maybe you can see Skype.
Skype?
Yeah. Skype. And as in the British or American, escape. Yes.
Escape. It's very clear, actually. Yeah.
Escape. Also for the metals, METALS. Yes, metals.
Metals?
metals, yes.
Metals, sorry, metals. Yeah, sorry.
And yes, in some lectures, metals. Yes,
That's
and
what
if
I
you
have used to.
yes, and here let us now talk about how to prepare ourselves for the section 4 in the act. For me, depend on my experience, I focused on the TEDx.
Okay.
And that YouTube is full of lectures around the world, from Sydney, from USA, from South Africa, UK, Canada, and the lecturers speak quickly. Okay, and maybe from 10 minutes to 15 minutes, and talk all things, maybe nanotechnology, maybe scans for fitness, for everything, and
Yeah.
maybe sometimes for National Geographic, I speak quickly. Now, give me your tips for students in Welcome to Canada, how to, the section 4, how to prepare.
Okay, let's give it a try. Well, when it comes to section 4, you're right. It's the most difficult section because it's the longest section and your attention is not going to be so good, especially when you come down to an end. But also, just like in all the other parts of the text, of the listening part, you have to focus on keywords, but there is something else that you can focus on here, especially if you lose track of what they are saying in the recording. Those are headings. So headings can also be your leading point to where you are right now. So for example, in this text, we have, let me see, 6 headings as far as I can see. One of them is parasites, toxins, accidental strandings, human activity, group behavior, and further reading. So those are also your key points where you're going to have some kind of an orientation where you are. In this part, you have to fill in with no more than 3 words, which means that you have to put a phrase of 1, 2, or 3 words in the middle. Sorry, no more than 2 words. So 1 or 2 words in the middle, in the beginning, or in the end of your text. So start listening carefully from the beginning and underline your keywords in the 30 seconds that they give you for the review of the questions. So I will try to do the first one. He says mass stranding situations where, what you also need to know, in each part, you are going to have 1 or 2 sentences. One sentence is already complete. The other one is the one that you need to complete. So the first one, the previous sentence that has already been completed, is going to be your guide. So for example, in the first part, in the beginning of the text, they will probably say about mass strandings, the situation where groups of whales, dolphins, etc. swim onto the beach and die. Right after that should be your answer. So the question says common areas where the blah blah can change quickly. What can change quickly? So what? Common areas where the can change quickly. What? What is changing quickly? So you have to look out to what they're going to say in this part. So common areas where the, I don't know, tide changes quickly, for example, are going to be mentioned. So your answer in that case will be tide. So you have to be careful at what they're going to mention, what changes quickly.
Yes, definitely. And also he absolutely will mention for parasites or toxins, and if you
emphasize these headings, so you will always know where you are. For example, when they finish with the first part, they will say another problem that I don't know presents a great danger for whales and dolphins are parasites. So you are automatically going to know in which section you are currently. So you know that you have to switch to parasite section.
Also, I remember when I start practicing for the section 4, maybe speak quickly, and I cannot cut and I lost my temper and I got nervous.
Yeah, you do lose attention a lot.
Yes, but what I did now, maybe I cannot follow the sequence in this video, but I have to say, the answer should be clear vocabulary, and the recorder will see it clearly. Okay. Also, he or she speaks quickly, but the correct answer should be, and you can focus on the tune of the recorder. Yeah. Here, what I did, I have to maybe write any word I catch, just write. Let's go to 31. Maybe you speak quickly, but maybe I find change. Weather.
Weather. That's a good one. Better than a tide.
Weather. Maybe weather. Blah 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 blah. Maybe I write 3 answers, but in the maybe after the end, maybe he said you have half minute to review your answer. Maybe I write 3 answers. Now after I finish, comment in the area where the change or whether what's the most dependent in your sense. Okay.
Definitely. Only one of them is going to make full sense. Others are not going to make that much sense.
Okay, and I advise students here, try to write any word you can catch in section 4. Any word.
Any word, definitely. In section 4, write as many information as you can. And if you skip one question, you can go back and see which one of those things in the information you wrote down makes most sense, so you can put it in your answer. You have to put something. I think one of the bigger mistakes is not to leave an empty field. So don't do that. Write anything if you're not sure.
Yes, definitely. Now let us summarize. This is interesting question. Okay, to prepare yourself for the IELTS listening, as we agree, you have to listen for maybe podcast or radio channels, maybe such as Radio Australia, Radio New Zealand, and focus on BBC, okay, and try to widen your accent, because in the IELTS, as you know, it's used in wide accent, maybe Chinese, Japanese, Indian, and speak English and use this their dialogues in the exam. Maybe in this sections, I remember the lecturer maybe from South Africa or from Canada.
The speaker was from, but I have to admit, I'm not too sure about this, but I think they have to be native speakers. So either you're going to have Australian accent, British, American. Canadian is pretty much the same as American accent. There are not going to be many differences. I'm not quite sure about, you said you had South African?
Yes, some in South Africans and some.
Was it understandable?
Yes, and understandable. Yes, it is understandable. But here, what I say for the IELTS, try to listen maybe in 70% for British materials, and also maybe for Australia, New Zealand. But it depends on Australia and the British. Also, maybe for some materials, I suggest in the YouTube some an effective series is called 6-Minute English.
Okay.
Okay. I think this is very and for TEDx for section 3 and for multiple choices, listen for the BBC or the CNN and try to write note and try to just catch any idea that will when you practice your use for this materials, in the end you will deal with all IELTS sections depending on your sense. I think this is the reason.
Definitely, I agree, and you have to do that just to get used to listening and writing down a few things, and then after that guessing what the speaker was saying. So it would be just as if you were answering the questions for the IELTS test. So you can employ a lot of different things, to practice for the listening part.
Yes, thanks. Okay, thank you so much for your time, and I think. Okay, I'll call you after half minute. Okay,
no
but
problem.
to stop this episode, I think that's 49 minutes. It is very interesting.
Thank you so much. Very nice to talk.
I'll recall you in half minute.
No problem. Take your time.
Now. Okay. And hello. Last message you sent for the students or seeker for the IELTS in our website. Last message. What you would like to say?
Practice a lot. Definitely, you have to do that. And I really do wish you all best of luck. I hope you're going to get amazing scores, well, at least from the listening part. I hope this is going to be beneficial.
Okay, and don't be lazy students such as
Khalid. Definitely. I think Khalid was definitely one of my best students on Cambly. So, and very diligent. So.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Now we'll recall you in half minute.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. See you. Bye.